It's 7:13 in the morning of Thursday. Yesterday was Christmas. So many people, they enjoyed the peaceful Christmas. Sound familiar? I think the majority of people didn't because of the declaration of martial law. But I think it is moving very quickly for peaceful solution, but it expects a turbulent years, New Year's, and turbulent months in a short span of time. Nowadays, I read so many negative articles from the newspapers. Even though I read that kind of negative news, I always am optimistic about the future course of our country. It is a journey. It is a long journey. We learn something from the serious mistake like that. Life is a journey. Failure is not failures, is not failure. It is a course for success. So it is a process, and we should learn the lessons all the time. That's the history. History repeated itself. This morning I got up 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm quite an early bird. I'm a hillbilly, 100% a country boy. I was born and raised at Kimje. Kimje Pyongyang is a greenery of Korea. It region produce lots of produce, and the rice, the main production of that local area. I think it was a blessing for me to be born there and raised until my primary school days. And I moved to Kunsan City. It is a small city. It's a harbor. Even though it was a small, next to the city, there was a U.S. Air Base. And it was the first time for me to see the Western people, especially American soldiers and their families. So I was very curious about how they speak the English. So in my middle school days, from the first year of middle school days, I was super interested in speaking English and reading English lessons from the textbook. I was born during the Korean War in 1951, so I started from scratch, and my mother provided the food. I didn't feel the presence of my father. But I think that in the course of living my life until now, 74 years young now, turn 75 next year, I just think age is just a number. So everybody has a different about the life. But my story is a story of hardships. But I never thought of hardships was a better thing. I think it is quite necessary to understand and to be a mature person. Hardships are the great tools to be a mature person. To deep understanding the life is a necessary step. When I look at the children nowadays, they live in a comfortable place, comfortable environment is good, but in a way, it lacks something. When the life tested them in the course of their future life, they will be overwhelmed by the hardships and the struggles and the setback. But in my case, to overcome the small hardships and the struggles in the course of bringing up from my younger years to my banking period, I think I climbed the ladder, the small steps at every day, and I make my own time to be successful. It was not a big success, but I thought it was a small success. Sometimes serious mistakes. That is the process of life. In the course of a long journey of life, everything becomes blessings to my life. I know that. In the future also, I'd like to challenge the story of Moses from the Bible. The Bible says that Moses enjoyed 120 years more, but the scientists estimate that by the current calendar, Moses enjoyed over 90 years of longevity. But in my case, because of the technology or the health conscious mindset or my mental capability of reading so many wonderful books in English and in Japanese, my language power, using that mental capacity and my active movement in the nature and go to the nature every day, especially early in the morning, that strength that will prove me the longevity. So I'm now 70 something. I still have 50 years to go, 120 or more, because of the medicine, of the advancing of technology and the positive mindset, or going to church to understand the God's the way. I think everything is encouraging to our longevity. But yesterday's the English article carried, newspaper article carried about our population, Korean population, is moving to the super aging society. More than 20% from the total population is more than 20% of the whole population. It's called super aging society. We age every day, but the majority of our people, over 99% of our seniors, they are not ready to enjoy their later years. It is a breakthrough development. They never expected uh, to live long, 65 years or 70, 80, 90. So I think that it is a turning point. It's a drastic changing time. If we are not prepared, we cannot enjoy the longevity. Last week, I read an article from the New York Times. Health span is more important age span, not just long years, but health span. How we enjoy our life in a healthy way is more important than the long years of longevity. So this morning, I would like to recommend to enjoy the Mother Nature, to work in the Mother Nature, to work in nature, enjoy the fresh air, stay out of the comfort zone, don't stay inside after your breakfast. Well, breakfast like a king. Breakfast is the very important meal for your health, for your mental capability. So we are approaching the end point of 2024, and it's a time to say goodbye to 2024, but still some days to go. Make a time for yourself. You need a third place, not home, not workplace, not cubicle, but you need a third place. In my case, it's a wilderness, the Mother Nature. Go to the mountain, go to the seashore, go to the river to enjoy the fresh air and recharge yourself and myself. Thank you for listening.